Welcome to Connecticut Art School, a place filled with amazing artists who are discovering their gifts and finding their creative voice. I'm Miss Sharon, the owner and director of this magical place, and I'm so very glad you're here. Are you ready for an adventure? Follow me down the rabbit hole into our wonderland at Connecticut Art School. We have two buildings in our complex, the school and the studio. Our school was founded 20 years ago in 2003. It has the level 1 and level 2 classrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a storage area. We added our studio in 2013. Our level 3 and 4 classes and lots of special events are held in our studio. Before we get too lost in Wonderland, there are a few very important characters I need to introduce you to. Miss Leah joined our teaching team this year. She created an instant bond with our level 1 students. Fun fact about Miss Leah, 14 years ago, she was a student at our school and the winner of the Heinz Ketchup Creativity Contest. Her art was featured on 20 million ketchup packages. Miss Kate is a great addition to our teaching team. She works with level 2 and level 3 students. She adds her personal flair to our school and our projects. She loves working with and creating connections with her students, and we are very happy to have her join us. Miss Jenna is a vital part of our school. She began as a student years ago and has evolved into our master teacher. She's our content creator, both with projects, special events, and on social media. She's involved in every aspect of making our school run smoothly. The kids love her, and so do we. She's amazing. Miss Ashley teaches our level 1 students. She loves working with our youngest artists and delights in their art, conversations, questions, and excitement. Level 1 students are adorably unpredictable, and Miss Ashley excels at finding the best in every moment. Miss Cody comes in every Saturday morning to work with level 2 and level 3 students. This routine helps her create space for creativity in her own life, and we're lucky to have her share that space with us. She brings out the best in her students, challenges them, and has a blast in the process. The first step in our adventure is level 1. Level 1 artists are typically 6 to 7 years old. We're visiting them on a very special day. Join us as we watch them celebrate Connecticut Art School's 20th birthday. Let's listen to our young artists talk about their art.
I like the moon, and the animals are going to Mars, and the animals are a bird and a dog and a mouse.
What I like about my scarecrow is that it has watercolors, and then we use some markers, and then we put water on the markers from the paper. And my scarecrow's name is Lily, and my bird's name is Ava.
I like the dog over my head. And I love the colors that I use for my scarecrow clothes. On my picture, it's a flower. I bunny flowers. What I liked about my fish project was I got to use watercolors and blend them.
What I liked about my pumpkin patch is I liked drawing the cat.
The story behind my artwork is that they're a family and they're huddling together because they don't have any clothes, just hats and scarves, because their fur is keeping each other warm. I liked that my turkey was big and fat and I used Sharpies and chalk.
I like how I added the candy cane present and the light on the moose's antlers.
I liked that there was a guinea pig that looked like the United States flag. I liked drawing the cats because there was a lot of drawing like cool lines and shapes. Materials I used are Sharpie, markers, and Crayola markers. What I liked about the drawing is drawing the bird and drawing the scarecrow. What I like about my cats is that they're cute and I got to design their full however I wanted and that they were family. I used pastels and paint for the frog painting. I like that cats are cute.
The story behind my moose is he is a Christmas moose delivering presents all over the world. I did my self-portrait and my favorite part was I loved how I did the rainbow background and I also loved that I did draw the paper and pencil and I also loved the dress color.
The thing that I like about my frog is that I like mixing and blending all the colors together. The saxophone. So my favorite part was that we did the music and we painted lots of things with Sharpies and some paint, watercolors. And then we made it out of the music and then we kind of colored the whole page with a person and it's blowing out. Bye. I like my pumpkin drawing because I like the way I made the cat and the pumpkins. I learned how to make pumpkins and the story behind my pumpkin artwork is that there's a black cat on the fence and that black cat is trying to look for jack-o'-lanterns that are well carved to steal for an evil party. I like the blue flowers because I like blue because it's my favorite color. I did the rocket ship and my favorite part about it was the animals. They're going to a different place where aliens live. Okay. My favorite part of the taking was the feathers.
And I'm gonna make a joke about my saxophone player. What is a saxophone that doesn't play music?
What?
A saxo music.
And I like my big fat frog.
And what I really liked about the scarecrow was the background because it was picturing my garden and me myself, I have a garden at home and I love to garden.
I liked my turkey because I got to use a lot of watercolor and I loved it.
My favorite part about the drawing is the background because we didn't do anything in the background and the vase because it's like you gotta pick your color.
What I liked about my piece is that I liked the moon when you went under with white crayon and then it showed up when you painted it. And I also liked the cat with it, like the black cat, it appears in the shadow, so I wish. And we use like different diagonal ways. And I like the pumpkins because you get to like draw with them like in different ways the ways that you wouldn't really do with pencil. And I like just the patterns and things like that. I'm holding a balloon on my self-portrait.
And what's on your head?
A cat. And I like my rocket picture because
like the star in the middle. What I liked about that was that they're going on a play date together, and they're going and they're best friends.
I learned that hedgehogs aren't so hard to draw.
I liked about my background that there's lots of different shapes and colors.
I like doing my self-portrait because we got to be really creative about ourselves and we got to use lots of colors.
I liked about my piece was I liked the drawing the board because I liked drawing animals, and I also liked the pattern on the scarecrow. I liked the part of making the jazz musician, and my favorite part was the background.
What I like about my rocket ship are the different animals. A bird, a mouse, and a dog. I like how I colored my turkey with markers.
I was like that to get the fork and just do the stripe for the
For the hedgehog quills?
yeah.
And I used warm colors for the flowers, and the vase I used cold colors. I liked drawing Pete the cat very much. The way I colored him made me feel really happy.
I like my cat, and I like the hat, and I really like the green background.
I like the fish project, and what I liked about it was adding a lot of detail like the fishes.
I liked the cat walking across the fence in the background and the pumpkin colors.
I love my hedgehog, and he has a snail friend, and the snail name is Badge.
And what's the hedgehog's name?
And the hedgehog's name is Flash.
And what did you like about the colors?
The colors was awesome.
I like drawing the jazz musician.
What I like about my moose is that he has presents, and inside the present is a Ford F-150 Lightning, and my moose's name is Jonathan.
I really liked about my self-portrait we could express ourselves with what we liked.
I like when I did my face.
The story is that when it was about 5 cats, they disagreed and they did a contest. They took pictures and they in front of the blue background. Then they all didn't like it. So when they took a picture together, they were perfect.
I like paint.
I loved painting the jazz music picture, and I liked painting the music notes.
I like about it because I like the cupcakes that they have smiles on them.
Take a look at these Cheshire cats created by our Level 1 artists. Our Level 2 classroom is filled with curious and creative 8 to 10-year-olds. Take a look at how they celebrated the school's birthday with art, friends, and some pretty awesome dance moves. Our Level 2 artists are excited to tell you about their artwork, what they learned, what they like, and what they're really proud of.
I really enjoyed this project because it really showed and spread the Christmas cheer. I also enjoyed the making of this project because it was fun choosing the themes of the snowman.
I like that we used different shades of orange to make the pumpkins look 3D.
It was really cool how you can make it 3D with the buildings overlapping.
I liked the horse because it was my first project and we made a lot of patterns on them.
So I used mostly colored pencils and a couple of Copic markers, and I really liked the little snowman dog that I put next to the tower and the tower of snowman. And I'm Jewish, so I put a Jewish star on the top instead of a Christian one. So the Fallen Leaves project was, we did it with watercolors, and I like how we used a thin brush of watercolor to make the grass. It really adds like texture, like makes it look like it has lots of texture. Also, I like how we positioned the leaves so it looks like they're midway of falling. And I like how the colors are very bright and they just pop out. This project was fun because I got to add lots of little details like flowers and sprinkles.
I love the colors and patterns because they're some of my favorite.
In this project, we learned how to do the funky flamingo font, and that was new to me.
I did the snowman project. I liked that it was different layers. At the bottom was the reindeer. At the second to like the last was the elves, and at the top was Santa Claus.
I learned how to draw buildings in 2-point perspective.
I like to draw my little friends, and it was fun blending the colors and making it come alive.
I like the patterns on my horse because I did them with fun colors.
My favorite part about this project was that I got to put cute animals in the background.
I like the penguin project because I still constantly doodle the penguin design.
What I liked about my snowman pile-up picture was that I got to make all of my snowmen different and not the same as the other ones, and designing them by myself.
So in the building project, I made the buildings in 3-dimensional, and I used complementary colors, and I put some words on one building. It stands for my name, just the initials, and some of my friends' names. Doing the pumpkin piece with the glue was challenging using Elmer's glue out of the container, but once you got the technique down, it was very fun.
I liked using oil pastel for my background, and I loved using the white colored pencil to carve out the oil pastel.
The penguins were fun because it was fun to draw cute characters and places.
I like how the back pumpkin is lighter because I accidentally spilled glue all over it, but it turned out good.
My building, we did like 3D, and we had to think about like a light point. So on one of the sides of our buildings, we had to show like really light colors, and the other side, because it was like a shadow, we had to do really dark. And we used oil pastels, pencil, eraser, and Sharpie, and I did a really cool sky. You have to do like little swirls to make like a swirly sky, and you have to use lots of colors.
So we did, the scarecrow drawing was one of the first projects we did of the year. We based it off of Van Gogh painting Starry Night, and that's how we based the sky. And then we used 1-point perspective to make the field, and we highlighted the pumpkins by finding a light source with the moon.
I liked putting the accessories on the chef and also adding the details. I also liked to blend the background with the cube tip. It was really cool.
I really like the Patriots, so I made the truck out of the Patriots.
So I added bright colors because I like bright colors. I also like animals, so I even taught my parents how to draw them. I like the penguin project because you can make the penguins wear things and hold things, and you can draw them upside down. This project makes me feel extra penguin-y.
I like the bunny project because the design was really neat and I like the coloring.
Well, I liked it because Mrs. Kate teaches us how to draw the font and do the background. We used watercolors, pencils, Sharpies, and scissors. I like the font because it looks like someone typed it on an iPad, but we actually drew it. And I also like how we could put different things on the background with different colors of watercolors, and we could cut out pieces of paper in different shapes to make it look like a background.
I used oil pastels. I did a harvest moon, which is orange moon. I did a scarecrow with a cool hat. I forget what it was. But then I did all different shades of pumpkins, like with different shades of colors on the pumpkins. Yeah.
What I enjoyed about making the snowman was making them all look different and have different like personalities, but they all looked good together even though they looked different.
What I liked about my truck is that it got to be our own imagination, and it got to be any food in the world, and it was also simple, but we got to use a lot of details.
I like the penguins picture because the penguins are cute, and I love the sunset picture because it is so beautiful.
So for my chef drawing, I used Copic markers, pencils, erasers, colored pencils, and chalk pastels. And I also kind of had a story to it. So when we were drawing the chef, it kind of looked like a baker to me, and I want to be a baker when I grow up. So I thought, I think I'm going to make a baker.
It was about 1-point perspective, and we found a point, and we made the grass look like it was going way off, and the pumpkins too. And the scarecrow looks like it's very far away.
I did tacos because I kind of just made that up myself.
but at the same time, I used green because it's like guacamole, and guacamole goes on tacos sometimes. And my favorite color is green, so I made sure to use probably way too much of it, but it's okay because I like it.
I enjoyed blending the pumpkins with oil pastels.
I love the style of art, the black glue, and the way I mixed the colors on the pumpkin. It made it really pop.
I like that we could choose different patterns to resemble our truck's theme.
When I was drawing my snowman tree, I liked that I could put different hats and outfits on them.
I liked using the different colors around the moon.
I really like the colors I used, like purple, pink, light pink, and I liked learning this font so I can use it in different projects.
I liked learning how to make the food truck, and when I was making it, I really enjoyed all the detail. I really enjoyed making it.
I like my snowmen because I got to choose their outfits for them. I liked my picture because I made them go on a adventure in the sunset.
So my chef drawing has a person in Paris. It has a flag for the name of the food he's delivering with, and he's in a bike to deliver food. It also has a cat in the front. And there's an Eiffel Tower in the background because it's in Paris, because the chef is in Paris and it's going to deliver things.
In this project, we chose what we wanted to do, and I chose to make my truck sell donuts.
I really like doing the horse project because I like doing the background. I learned how to do different patterns. I really enjoyed doing the horse project.
What I liked about my snowmen is how I made them all with detail and how I stacked them on top of each other. It was really fun.
I wanted to tell you about a picture that is called Glue, and it has a picture of pumpkins and leaves, and you use liquid watercolors and black glue to make it. It's very fun, it's very beautiful. So if you try it, it's very fun. It might be a little messy, but it's very fun. So thank you.
We had when we did the lily pads, I put the fish oil stuff on it to make it more detailed, and then one of the koi fish looked like a calico cat because I like it that way. And then little Jimmy in the little corner, can't forget about him. He forgot to get the food when it first came into the water, so now he's stuck in the corner of the picture. Sorry, little Jimmy.
My truck's still Italianized and I really like the colors on it. My snowman project was around Christmas time, and it was around Christmas time, and we used chalk pastel and Copic markers, and we stacked our snowman in a pyramid, and we had to put different items on them. It was kind of a bit challenging because you couldn't repeat the items or faces, and it was hard.
I really liked how the shading came out for the buildings because one side was darker, which is how buildings look in real life.
I decided that I should put the Chinese characters that say Happy New Year on my bunny, and I used Copic markers, pencils, and I used erasers, of course.
It was really fun. We got to do shading and use black glue, and we made the leaves look like they were falling, even though they're just flat on a paper. And it was really fun, but it's too bad it wasn't 3D. I love 3D.
What I liked about my horse picture was that it gives a spirit of energy, and I'm really energetic. And some of the materials that I used were Copic markers, chalk pastels, and Sharpie.
How I
learned how to do layers on watercolors.
In my penguin drawing, we learned how to draw 2 different penguins. My penguins are to dance, and I used watercolor to do the sky.
So this was based off of Chinese New Year, and we had to include a bunny because that is the year of the rabbit. We also had to add circles, flowers, and design elements. We used Copics, colored pencils, and Sharpies.
So I liked using the black glue because it was cool, and also I liked drawing the pumpkins, and I added shading texture.
Well, I used different colors, like different pastel colors. And I did, if you buy 2 ice creams, you get a plushie for free. And I did a Mickey Mouse themed ice cream truck.
My building project, I liked how we did it 3-dimensional.
My favorite thing about my panther was my plants and flowers. For the panther, we used pencils and oil pastels. I enjoyed how we went step by step because I find it easier.
My self-drawing is a woman who was going on to her neighbor's house, but she was secretly a spy. And her baby was tucked into a case where the baby had all the things that the baby needed. And she could secretly fly.
I enjoyed making the penguins with Copic markers and making their hats. I liked the Scarecrow project because I liked the pumpkins, and I also liked how it looks like the Scarecrow was saying ooga booga nooga jooga rooga rooga nasty grassy.
What I liked about my horse is that it has a lot of colors and you can really see what's happening. It was really expressive, and I just feel like it has a very cool story, which is probably just walking in the grass, and I don't know why, but feeling very excited. It just has a lot of colors, and that's what I liked about my horse.
It was really fun because we got to pick our own colors and we got to pick our own hats, and in the background we used chalk and Copic markers for the penguins, and it was really fun because we got to choose our own color scheme for the penguins and for the background.
I liked how I painted with bright colors. So I chose Reese's Pieces food truck because I love Reese's Pieces, and I chose my colors. Because I like teal, and I put Reese's Pieces on it to make sure they knew it was Reese's Pieces, and I put little desks and stuff in it. And I made sure that the background matched the scene.
Well, my self-drawing is going to the M&M factory in New York, and is also in the background. It has the cool sideward sunset, what has the other half of the rainbow.
So what was the first drawing we did at art? I used chalk pastels, Sharpies, and Copic markers. And I chose the colors that I did because they were my favorite colors. Also, under my horse, I drew a little thing because I had a couple minutes left of class. Well, my koi fish project wasn't my favorite. We did a lot of watercolors and a bunch of paint resistant, but I think I could have done a lot better on the body shape of the koi, and a lot of the water parts, I could have done it less dark.
What I like about my panther is the leaves around it, and the head and the eyes. I can just stare at it for hours.
The reason why I like this stuff, we can make our own design for our bags, and we can make designs how like is a wheel, like put stuff inside. So he was in Africa and he said, "Oh, I don't like this place because so much big fat elephants in there." So he decided to become one. So he'd bring 1,000 calories, and then we did a bajillion soda calorie. That's why he became fat to Ohio.
This gallery is inspired by the talking and singing flowers Alice meets in the garden.
It was really fun. We got to do shading and use black glue, and we made the leaves look like they were falling, even though they're just flat on a paper. And it was really fun, but it's too bad it wasn't 3D. I love 3D.
What I liked about my horse picture was that it gives a spirit of energy, and I'm really energetic. And some of the materials that I used were Copic markers, chalk pastels, and Sharpie.
I learned how to do layers on watercolors.
In my penguin drawing, we learned how to draw 2 different penguins. My penguin draw to dance, and I used watercolor to do the sky.
So this was based off of Chinese New Year, and we had to include a bunny because that is the year of the rabbit. We also had to add circles, flowers, and design elements. We used Copics, colored pencils, and Sharpies.
So I liked using the black glue because it was cool, and also I liked drawing the pumpkins, and I added shading texture.
Well, I used different colors, like different pastel colors. And I did, if you buy 2 ice creams, you get a plushie for free. And I did a Mickey Mouse themed ice cream truck.
My building project, I liked how we did it 3-dimensional.
My favorite thing about my panther was my plants and flowers. For the panther, we used pencils and oil pastels. I enjoyed how we went step by step because I find it easier.
My self drawing is a woman who was going on to her neighbor house, but she was secretly a spy, and her baby was tucked into a little case where she had the baby had all the things that the baby needed, and she could secretly fly.
I enjoyed making the penguins with Copic markers and making their hats.
I liked the Scarecrow project because I liked the pumpkins, and I also liked how it looked like the Scarecrow was saying ooga booga nooga jooga rooga rooga dashy grassy.
What I liked about my horse is that it has a lot of colors, and you can really see what's happening. It was really expressive, and I just feel like it has a very cool story, which is probably just walking in the grass, and I don't know why, but feeling very excited. It just has a lot of colors, and that's what I liked about my horse.
It was really fun because we got to pick our own colors, and we got to pick our own hats, and in the background, we used chalk and Copic markers for the penguins. And it was really fun because we got to choose our own color scheme for the penguins and for the background.
I liked how I painted with bright colors. So I chose a Reese's Pieces food truck because I love Reese's Pieces. And I chose my colors, because I like teal, and I put Reese's Pieces on it to make sure they knew it was Reese's Pieces, and I put little desks and stuff in it. And I made sure that the background matched the scene.
Well, my self drawing is going to the M&M factory in New York, and is also in the background. It has the cool sideward sunset, which has the other half of the rainbow.
So what was the first drawing we did at our
I used chalk pastels, Sharpies, and Copic markers. And I chose the colors that I did because they were my favorite colors. Also, under my horse, I drew a little thing because I had a couple minutes left of class. Well, my koi fish project wasn't my favorite. We did a lot of watercolors and a bunch of paint resistant, but I think I could have done a lot better on the body shape of the koi, and a lot of the water parts, I could have done it less dark.
What I like about my panther is the leaves around it and the head and the eyes. I can just stare at it for hours.
The reason why I like the chef, like we can make our own design for our bags, and we can make like designs how make it so we don't like put stuff inside. So he was in Africa and he said, "Oh, I don't like this place because so much big fat elephants are there." So he decided to become one. So he bring 1,000 calories, and then he just printed a bajillion soda calories, and that's why he became fat to Ohio.
Level 3 students are 11 to 13 years old. This is a transitional level where students work more and more independently. Teachers provide demonstrations, challenges, and guidance with every project.
It was fun learning different pen and ink techniques and learning different ways to shade.
I used cool tones, and there was headphones right next to me, so that's why I decided to do headphones.
I liked working on my creative cartoon style and my creative color scheme.
My favorite thing about my project was that we used acrylic paint, which is one of my favorite materials. My favorite thing about the project was doing the shading on the snow. I thought that was fun.
For the polar bears, we used grading graphing technique to transfer the polar bears onto the art paper.
We used a lot of shading and highlights to make them look realistic, and we used monochromatic blues.
Something I loved about this project was we used canvas paper and we used acrylic paint, and I got to blend different colors together to make new colors, and I love creating the hats and faces of my snowmen.
So we took inspiration from Harley Harper's Birds, and basically what a tessellation is, it's basically a pattern that keeps on going and it can go on forever. I love using colored pencils because it's really nice when you do shading and you try to make things like pop out more. I remember when I made this piece, I named it like the Skittles bird because it looked like a bag of Skittles.
I loved learning how to shade with different lines using pen and ink.
I like that I could incorporate pieces of my own personality into this painting, like the cassette tape.
It was a good experience using 3 colors, and I really liked using oil pastels.
It was fun using patterns and techniques to create a 3D look. Also, it matched the theme of the show.
I learned how to blend acrylic paint to make a 3D sphere.
I liked using a variety of concepts like mountains, maniac, and markers.
The project challenged my imagination and creativity. I loved adding new flavors.
A book inspired me to make a plague doctor and pen and ink.
The tessellation project was cool because it was my first time doing anything like it. I learned a new technique.
I like working with acrylic paint because it's easy to blend and make 3D spheres.
Creating the texture on the tree bark is fun, and I'm really proud of how the colors popped on the wings.
One thing that I liked about my polar bear is that we used a monochromatic color palette for the polar bear.
It was fun brainstorming ideas with the letter M and drawing a man cartoon style.
I liked how this project pushed my creativity, and I liked using Copic markers.
Working with oil pastels was really fun because it's so easy to manipulate and blend.
I liked keeping the art simple. It was like working with a puzzle.
In this project, I learned how to blend backgrounds with acrylic and create hats for the snowman.
So, in my school supplies project, I took memories that families in the world get to experience, and then I replaced like people with glue. And I kind of made like memories but with glue, so like glue memories, and there was a glue family and everything like that. So that was my way of being creative.
With this project, I learned a lot about drawing with geometric shapes, and I was able to like draw a dragon, which I really like drawing, and I was able to bring a dragon to life on the paper.
I really like this project because we got to do blending and it made the polar bear look really realistic.
I thought I wasn't gonna like this project, but it actually like turned out really fun and crazily good, I guess. But I thought I was like gonna hate it, but I didn't. And I actually really like how every single one is unique in their own way, even though they're copies of each other.
I really liked creating my own art with like office supplies, and I really enjoyed using Copic markers to bring life to the art.
I really like the animals and the fun to draw in art class.
I like finding unique ways to use different art supplies to create a picture.
I really liked it, and it was pretty cool. And I really enjoyed just making it because it was just, even though it was a lot, pretty hard to make and a pretty long project, I overall enjoyed it.
My polar bear drawing is made of oil pastel. We made it using a graphing technique using rulers and stuff like that. We had to measure it all out. And we did it based on photos. We would graph out the photos and then transfer it from the photos onto the paper.
I like doing this project because I could think outside the box and draw anything that just came to mind.
For this project, we layered a lot and we blended until we got the right match that we wanted.
So we were using cross hatching, and I used pencil and dark black pen for it. I liked that I was able to use my creativity to create what was coming out of the egg. I think
Outlining is very helpful. It makes everything pop out better, and I prefer using black pens. And I think this project was one of my favorites this year.
This prompt allowed me to feel creative and show my personality by combining a cupcake and a chicken.
I like creating the texture on the polar bear with the pastels.
Something about my snowman piece is I really like skiing, so that's what I made the background. And the materials we used were acrylic paint and glitter glue, and we focused on shading for that.
Creating line art with pens is great because it's smooth and clean compared to other art.
I like that we got to use watercolor and pick our own theme.
I liked working in surrealism because I got to watch my project change over time from my original idea.
I really liked how this project turned out. It was really pretty, and I learned how to shade spheres.
In this piece of artwork, I made animals out of school supplies that are floating in the ocean and space.
For this artwork, I learned how to create textured background with acrylic paint.
I made a tape roller into a snail, and there's a bush made out of crayons, and we used watercolors for this project, and I made a flying clock as well.
This project came out better than I expected, and it was cool playing with different sizes.
It was fun doing something I don't usually do and drawing with lots of color.
What I liked about the project was we got a bit of freedom and didn't have to just draw this one specific thing, which everyone has to do.
I liked changing up the same house with color theory, so they were all the same but still kind of different.
I like the pastels because they blend nicely, and I like pears.
I really liked that project because I like cross-hatching and using pen to shade stuff. I liked about how we were able to do what we wanted, but when we made a mistake or if we needed help, we were able to be guided into what we were doing.
Take a look at these amazing creations falling down the rabbit hole. What kind of adventures are happening in the studio as we celebrate the school's birthday? Let's go take a look. primarily high school students. We have students who use art as a form of relaxation and a way to be part of a creative community. We also have students who are working on college portfolios. Level 4 work is personal and unique. Before we hear these artists talk about their work, we just need to take a minute to give a shout out to one student in particular. So we're going to introduce you to Sophia. This is Sophia's 14th and final year at the art school. She started with us at just 4 years old and is now graduating from high school and heading to college. She's a brilliant math science major who uses art to challenge and refine her problem-solving skills, and just for fun. We're so proud of her and know she's off to do great things. We're really going to miss you, Sophia.
I really like the bell pepper project that I did because it taught me how to color with oil pastels.
I like this project because I liked using oil paint.
This project was easy because I like working with colored pencils.
I love painting all the tiny details.
This project was an uphill battle.
This project was very rewarding because it was my first experience with paint.
I liked the peppers because it was fun to figure out the proportions of the still lifes.
I liked making the eye painting because I like working with oil paints.
This poster was designed for my favorite movie, Labyrinth. This painting turned out better than I anticipated because it was my first oil painting.
If you're seeing this, I'm at the Taylor Swift concert, and this is who this project is inspired with.
This painting was challenging because it had a lot of details.
I chose this landscape photo from a time I went to the zoo.
This is a pun on time flies.
This artwork is inspired by the Mad Hatter's hat. It's deeply personal art where each artist wove a memory from their childhood into a visual story. Thank you for your ongoing support and for making art a priority in your students' life. Your encouragement motivates us to keep sharing our passion. Our website, Facebook, and Instagram are all updated with the latest information about summer camp, workshops, painting opportunities for adults, and of course, information about our fall weekly classes. Registration for fall will open in July or August, and classes will begin in mid-September. Once again, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for supporting the arts and Connecticut Art School.